Hello, everyone. On behalf of Generaciones en Acción, I warmly welcome you to our free webinar, The Magic We Inherit, the official theme for our fourth annual art exhibition in Mixer 2026. We are Generaciones en Acción, and this year we celebrate our 10 years of building intergenerational leadership and community power. Our work is rooted in four pillars: community leadership, social emotional well-being and mental health, community education, arts and culture. Through these pillars, we create spaces where different generations can learn, heal, express themselves, and grow together. Today, we are joined by Giselle Verduzco, who holds a BA in psychology from Cal State Long Beach, and Michelle Zaragoza, a licensed clinical social worker and PhD student in social welfare at UC Berkeley. During these 30 minutes, we will explore how art strengthens identity, well-being, and leadership among Latino youth. For everyone joining us through Zoom and Facebook Live, any questions will be answered after both presentations. Also, our Zoom meeting ID is 894-5585-1795. For anyone who would like to join us through Zoom, you are more than welcome to. Now, without further ado, I'll pass it over to our first presenter, Giselle Verduzco.
Thank you, Stephanie. Let me share my screen. Oh, let's try again. Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Giselle Verduzco, and I am one of the creators of Generaciones and Acciones' fourth annual art exhibition and mixer. So before we get into our presentation about the importance of art, I wanted to talk briefly about the event. So when we created this event, we had three goals in mind. We wanted to create a space where young artists can express their creativity, invite family and friends to celebrate and support the participants' talent, and foster connections between emerging artists and professional artists. Here at Generaciones en Acción, we really value education, and so we wanted our youth to be able to segue into more professional forms of art. So we wanted to demonstrate that a career in the arts can be a viable and professional path by offering to become the first exhibit that they can display their artwork in. I'm very excited to announce that this year's theme is the magic we inherit. The magic we inherit involves Latino youth to transform into art the stories they carry within them, legends, dichos, family memories, and ancestral wisdom passed down through generations. This exhibition celebrates the legacy that shapes identity and inspires young artists to honor their roots, give them a new voice, and turn them into bold, creative expressions. We decided to provide this description in order to provide a bit of guidance as to how to interpret the theme, the magic we inherit. However, we understand that art is subjective, so we decided to keep it a little general as well, so that way artists can be able to interpret this theme in their own abilities. We accept different medias of art, which include paintings, drawings, ceramics, poetry, and short stories. And as you can see, every medium has a different requirement. So for example, if you were to submit a ceramic piece, we ask that your piece be no more than 24 inches tall and 12 inches wide. And as you can see in the photo on the right, this is an example of a ceramic piece that was submitted in last year's exhibition. You can find these requirements on our website at generacionesenacion.org. There are very few rules, but they are very important. Participants must identify as a Latino and be between the ages of 15 and 25. You are allowed a maximum of 3 artwork submissions per artist. These 3 artworks can be different medias. So, for example, we've had people submit a ceramic piece and a drawing and a poem. But we ask that the artwork must comply with the established size limitations. And most importantly, we would like the artwork or its accompanying description to clearly relate to the theme. Again, we understand that art is subjective, so someone might display the theme in a way that's not really easy to connect. Therefore, we ask that in your description that you submit, you kind of explain why this piece relates to the theme. and no artwork submissions will be accepted during the week leading up to the event. In the past, we've been a little lenient on the deadlines. However, now we want to enforce once we are able to find the correct date for our event that artists please submit their work in our designated deadline. But because we don't have a solid date yet for the event, this is not something we have to worry about quite yet. And so if you are interested in submitting your art, how do you do that? It's really easy. All you have to do is send an email to Giselle@generacionesenaccion.org, and please include a picture of your artwork or a PDF if you are submitting a poem or a short story, and a short description of your work in English and in Spanish. If you are uncomfortable with translating in either of these languages, it's totally fine. We can do that for you. As you can see in the photo over here with the cat, this is the artwork, and below you can see two descriptions. One is in English and one is in Spanish. Once you have been selected to have your art presented in our exhibition, an email will be sent out to participants 2 weeks before the art exhibit that will include the address of where to drop off your physical art piece and the times when to drop off the artwork. Again, because we don't have a designated date yet for our event, this is not something to worry about right now. But once we announce when the event will take place, I will send an email with a address to our headquarters, and you can select which dates and times work best for you to drop off your art pieces. We do have a few frequently asked questions. Is this a family-friendly event? Yes, guests of all ages are welcome to come and support our artists. Will you be able to get your art pieces back? The answer is yes. At the end of the event, artists can take their pieces home. Will food be provided? Yes, we will have food and drinks. And what if I can't attend the event, but I want to participate? So two things can happen. In the past, we have had artists submit their physical artwork to us, but they're unable to attend the actual event. That is totally okay. We will still mount your pieces and we will still represent you as an artist. We've also have had participants from other countries, so they're unable to physically submit their artwork. So what we do is we print out an image of their piece and then we display that instead. So either way, you're going to have your art displayed at this exhibit. So if you have any questions at all, you're welcome to reach out to me at Giselle@generacionesenaccion.org. If you want to see everything that I presented and more details about the event, you're welcome to check out our website at generacionesenaccion.org under Projects, Art Exhibition and Mixer 2026. So thank you. This concludes my portion of the presentation, and I will now pass the stage on to Michelle.
Thank you, Giselle. I will go ahead and share my screen. Okay. And we should start. There it goes. All right. So I will be talking a little bit about the benefits of art and really seeing art as healing, as self-expression and liberation. My name is Michelle Zaragoza, and I am a doctoral student in social welfare at UC Berkeley and an adjunct professor in social work at Cal State Dominguez Hills. And before we get started, I wanted to just take a moment for us to pause and just reflect on these two pieces of art. So I'll invite you to take a moment to just relax in your seat, relax your shoulders, and we can take a deep breath in together. We could take a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouths. Just taking a moment here to pause and slow down and notice what comes up as you take a moment to view these two art pieces. It's really nice for those of us who have had a long and busy day to be able to just take a moment and slow down and reflect on art. Take another deep breath. Very nice. So let's talk a little bit about the science behind art and art making. So, research and studies show that viewing art or making art fundamentally alters our brain chemistry. So, engaging with art and even looking at art for just 15 to 45 minutes reduces cortisol levels, and that's our stress hormone, and it triggers the release of dopamine, which is another chemical in the brain that really instantly boosts mood and reduces anxiety and improves just overall cognitive resilience. And studies do show that regular art engagement, whether going to a museum to see art or engaging in some kind of creative activity at least once per month, enhances overall well being, mental health, and decreases the risk of cognitive decline as we age. And now, talking a little bit about the ways that art supports healing, supports well being, and mental health. Well, art really helps people to say what is hard to say sometimes, right? To be able to express themselves in ways that can be a powerful tool for self expression and healing. And it's especially valuable for young people and for youth. It can help validate and affirm youth's identity and strengthen their sense of belonging. And it can also reduce distress and feelings of isolation while being able to build confidence and joy and creativity. And in addition, art has also been used in therapy to help people heal, recover from trauma, and being able to develop resilience along the way. And you can see in this table here that art really matters across the lifespan. So we see how art benefits people at every stage of life. In childhood, art supports well being, it supports play, imagination, and helps it develop identity and emotional expression. For youth, art strengthens resilience, mental health, the ability to express oneself in different modalities, and also be able to engage with others in community. And for adults, art fosters social connection, a sense of belonging, and also offers the possibility for intergenerational healing and the well being of the broader community. So we see here that art really accompanies us and supports us throughout the entire lifespan. Sharing art builds community. And in this slide, we reflect on how sharing art strengthens that. It provides opportunities for young people to be able to share art. That becomes a powerful way to uplift their voices, to help them feel that they belong, that they matter, and that they can become leaders in their community by sharing their stories and expressing themselves in different ways, right? This can be through poetry, this can be through actual art making, photography, a sculpture, many different ways that art can also help people to come together, to heal together, especially in the face of present day struggles or challenges that we might be facing. And when we share art across generations, we create spaces where children, young people, and adult can come together and be able to exchange stories and culture and their reflections. And finally, art really makes visible the strengths and the resources and really just the vibrant culture of our community. And with that, I want to leave with this quote here that art shows that we are here and that we remain, we keep creating, and we stay connected. That concludes this part of the presentation, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Okay, thank you so much, Giselle and Michelle. They was very inspiring listening to both of your informational webinars. I think it was very interesting knowing in more profound way how to connect the mental health with the art. So hopefully every youth that watches this video would very much take in a lot of information from this webinar. This webinar will be available in our YouTube channel at Generaciones en Acción, along with all our social medias in TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Please feel free to go back and see anything, information, share it with fellow youth or family members. We have Patricia in our Facebook Live. Patricia, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, people say thank you for this beautiful and informational webinar. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, you guys. Also, yeah, we can't wait to see you and meet you in our fourth annual art exhibition at Mixer of 2026. And with this, we conclude our webinar.